Welcome back to our second monthly episode of the semester, Broncos. I'm Gavin Claiborne.
And I'm Damariz Arevalo. I can't believe we've been back at school for over a month and the unbearable summer weather is finally going away.
You know, I love the fall and all the festivities that come with it. But don't forget to stay warm by bringing an extra jacket in case it gets cold walking to classes.
That's right, and maybe even grab a pumpkin spice latte to get into the fall spirit.
But without further ado, let's get started on today's episode so we can catch you up on all things CPP news in today's segment of
Poly Post Now.
Starting off this week's headline recap. New general education patterns will impact arts, humanities, and lifelong learning for students across the CSU campuses.
College of Agriculture kicked off the third annual Pumpkin Fest preview night with live music, craft beers, and more pumpkins than you can count.
CPP students will lose 2 assistant librarians at the end of the fall 2024 semester, leaving nearly 2,800 students without a dedicated librarian.
CPP is known for its agriculture and engineering, but there are rising celebrities on campus and they happen to have 4 legs.
Topics of gaps in the operating budgets and a plan to open a mobility hub for students were discussed during September's Academic Senate meeting.
CPP Skate Club is now an officially recognized organization on campus that has more than 50 members.
Multiple wildfires have been raging through Southern California mountain ranges, impacting the lives of surrounding communities.
And lastly, COVID-19 cases are once again on the rise, and we'll give you the insight of how you can stay safe this semester.
Changes in the California State University's general education pattern were announced during a town hall meeting on September 12th. The changes, which will be made in response to Assembly Bill No. 928, will revise the course requirements for GE Areas C and E. Let's head over to reporter Scotty Ninh for more details.
California State University's recently announced revisions to its general education pattern that changes the naming conventions of GE requirements and removed some GE units, all in a response to a recently passed California law. Hi Broncos, this is Scotty Ninh with the Poly Post, and with the recent GE policy changes, it could seem like quite a bit to take in, especially to continuing students. So, to break it down, the naming conventions of GE requirements will be changed to more similarly resemble that of community colleges. So, to showcase the upcoming GE pattern, I'm going to give you a bit of an infographic here because it's quite a bit to take in, so make sure you screenshot it for future reference. But all this was done in response to a California law that was passed in hopes of streamlining the GE system to transfer students and, to a lesser extent, incoming freshmen. Additionally, the changes will have GE areas D3 and E cut along with their credits, and in total, the number of required GE credits will be reduced from 48 down to 43. According to the CPP General Education Coordinator, Aaron DeRosa, this change in particular was made to give students more flexibility to explore their course options both in and out of their majors, as the previous system may have forcibly narrowed down their choices to specific GE courses. While this can benefit students, some impacted departments have given the decision an extensive amount of backlash, as the pull requirements can make students less obligated to enroll in certain courses.
And I think that the GE part, while that new GE pattern is more at the chancellor's level because the Board of Trustees implemented it for all students, that was their decision to do that. It just shows as you move up the hierarchy here from the president's level, who made the decision about our branding efforts and that cost, to going beyond that at the chancellor's level, there is just a focus that if we sort of, streamline the system and put a new coat of paint on the used car instead of changing the oil, that it'll run and sell. But we need to make sure that we're focusing during these times on maintaining things like general education, but also making sure that as budgets ebb and flow, we are spending it on academic affairs and making sure colleges are still funded well, especially when there's clearly money in the system.
This will impact departments in 2 ways. First being that if departments have less enrollments in their GE courses, which can be a considerable amount, there will be less funding for said departments. Second would be how departments may miss out on attracting undeclared students or those thinking about switching their major.
How much funding you get to offer classes depends on full-time equivalent students. Full-time equivalent students mean if you were taking just one 3-unit class, if there were 5 of you, you'd be 1 full-time equivalent student. So how many full-time equivalent students that you bring in depends on your funding you get to offer more classes above your tenure track budget, what we call lecture faculty, and offer more classes. So it can be kind of a spiral. If you don't have enough to FTS, then you get less money, and then you could offer fewer classes, and et cetera, and it can be really problematic.
On top of this, some professors of impacted departments have argued that the way students benefit from cutting GE requirements is only surface level and has more harmful long-term side effects.
But in terms of somebody who wants a GE program that's going to provide a coherent experience that offers the students the opportunity to study things they might not otherwise be exposed to, gain some skills that help, I think, define what a university-educated person should be able to do, and prepare them for things. You can take courses. The courses that are scheduled in most majors are things that are built up looking backward. The skills you learn in general education give you the ability to deal with things that we can't predict in the future. And so it's a bit of a shame that part of the reform ended up contracting the GE program even further.
These cuts and changes to GE requirements have actually been happening pretty consistently throughout the past few years, according to professors of impacted departments. The cuts to GE areas typically came as a response to other changes. For example, it was previously as a result of a unit cap that was made. With all these concerns for how GE changes can impact some departments, DeRosa has actually encouraged faculty to give as much feedback as they can to the Academic Senate, mentioning that their voice matters a lot at this very moment. And for students that may be concerned with their department, it is also encouraged to reach out to your faculty to help push their feedback into the Academic Senate. But be quick, as the second Academic Senate reading will be on November 6th. That's it from me, Broncos. Let us know what you think of the GE pattern changes down in the comments, as these changes seem to have generated many mixed reactions and confusion for some. But this has been Scotty Ninh from the Polypost. Thanks for watching.
The Department of Agriculture hosted its third annual Pumpkin Fest preview night on Friday, September 27, as a way to kick off the official Pumpkin Festival, which will be open every weekend from September 28 to October 27. The sold-out event was for anyone 21 years and over, and the single-day event showcased beer, wine, and food from local chefs and restaurants, including dishes created from produce grown on the Cal Poly Pomona farm. Preview Night came together with the help of 90 working students that helped put together and run the event for Preview Night and the Pumpkin Fest, according to Interim Associate Dean and Professor Gabriel Davidoff Pardo. To buy your tickets today, please check out their website and let us know in the comments below on what your experience was like.
CPP students will lose 2 assistant librarians, Hannah Cole and Raheem Eskridge, by the end of the fall 2024 semester, after former University Library Dean Pat Hawthorne decided to not renew their contracts. This decision was made by Hawthorne before she left CPP in July. Cole is currently working as the subject librarian for the Department of Communication, English and Modern Languages, Philosophy, Theater and New Dance in the College of Letters, Arts, and Social Sciences. And Eskridge is the subject librarian for the College of Environmental Design. In the absence of Cole and Eskridge, 8 departments will be left without coverage, leaving approximately 2,800 students without a dedicated librarian. The discontinuation of their contracts raised concerns for the remaining librarians who will manage the gap for E&V and class students. To find out more, please check out our website.
Horses, cows, and cats? That's right! Did you know there are more than 7 cats on campus, with each of them having a spot on campus that they visit frequently? Let's head over to Jerry, right meow, to see what all the fuss is about.
Cats. While Cal Poly Pomona is most known for its agriculture and engineering, there seems to be a rising group of celebrities on campus, and they happen to have 4 legs.
The presence of these cats on campus has led to many questions, such as why are they here, where do they come from, and just how many cats are on campus. I'm CPP reporter Jerry Sanchez, and join me as we unearth the history of these famous felines.
This is Bluebell. Many students have seen her on their walk from Parking Structure 1 to the library. On our expedition to find Bluebell, we ran into one of her caretakers as she provided Bluebell with food and water.
To get more information on these cats, we called up resident cat expert Instagram user @CatPolyPomona to give us the history on all things CPP cats.
There's more than 5 because there's around 3 that live in the village, but they're more skittish than the ones on like the main campus, so not a lot of people gets to see them all the time. but there are cats in the village. But like the main ones, there's about like, what, 4 to 5 on campus that people usually know about. So yeah. Yeah, so Ursula congregates at the beef unit. Nos is found at the traditional dorms, so like the red bricks. I think she frequents like all of them, so I can't pinpoint the exact dorm she's mostly found at. Bluebell can be found by the art building / SSB and library. She kind of just walks around that like walking area. And then her kids, Momo and Kona, are mostly at the horse center. And the orange cat kind of frequents the horse center and like the suites.
With a wide variety of cats on campus, you may be wondering if there are any rules in place to protect them. There are, and we have Student Activities Coordinator Cheyenne Thayer to give us the rundown.
So their job is to kind of help us keep our rodent control down. So they help if there's mice and stuff. We try and use more natural ways to exterminate them in a sense. So the cats do their job and hunt for the rodents around here, and they do a pretty good job. I don't know, people always come and visit and there's rodents everywhere from them, lizards, birds, and stuff like that. So, but we also do feed them and take care of them. So they get fed, they get flea medication, they get vaccinated and everything like that. And then they have a curfew of where they get locked up at night. So at 5 p.m. they're supposed to be home and in their bed in a sense. So we lock the cats up at night just because there are a lot of coyotes around and they're pretty bold cats. So they're very feisty, and I think they wouldn't realize a coyote is a predator, and they would, I wouldn't say get eaten, but they would be like, oh, this is a friend.
But I was still not satisfied with the amount of information on these cats. I knew what I had to do if I wanted answers. I would have to ask the cats themselves. Unfortunately, my attempts at getting an interview with one of the cats, Ursula, didn't quite work out.
They don't call me the cat whisperer.
But I remain determined to ask these cats the questions we all want to know.
And determined I am, as now we have the chance to interview one of the CPP cats, Momo, and ask her the hard-hitting questions.
So, do you even go here? Hello? Do you even go here? How do you feel about the RRA budget cuts? What CPP sports team are you rooting for?
Momo and Kona are Bluebell's daughters, and they prefer to stay near the horse center. But they don't just live on campus. Momo and Kona do their part in taking care of the mice, rats, and other pests. Luckily, Momo and Kona are pretty good at their job at keeping the horse center pest-free.
And there you have it, folks. We heard from the cats, but we want to hear from you. Let us know in the comments what you think about these CPP cats, and be sure to subscribe so you never miss an upload. My name is Jerry Sanchez, and I'll see you next time.
A $5.9 million gap in the operating budget for Cal Poly Pomona's 2024 to 2025 academic year was announced during September's Academic Senate meeting. According to Executive Director of Academic Affairs Lisa Rotani and Provost Terry Gomez, CPP's total budget for this year came out to $165.3 million, which is $500,000 down from last year's budget. Additionally, the Alternative Transportation Committee plans to open a mobility hub for multimodal transportation at the meeting, aiming to provide students with a safer location for transit. If you'd like to see more on this topic, please check out our website, and we'll update you as more information comes out.
From making a skate video to now hosting tournaments sponsored by local skate shops, the CPP Skate Club has become a creative outlet for skateboarding enthusiasts. Founded in 2021 by Ryan Paja and Kai Flynn, the club created a community for the ever-growing popularity of skateboarding on campus. Current club president Aaron Pangilinan, who's been a member since it was founded and made the club official through MyBar, welcomes skaters of any skill level to join the club, and you can find more about the club on our website.
3 wildfires engulfed more than 100,000 acres of the Southern California mountain ranges. These fires include the Bridge Fire in Angeles National Forest, the Line Fire in San Bernardino National Forest, and the Airport Fire between Orange and Riverside counties. impacting surrounding mountain and foothill communities and forcing residents to evacuate from their homes. For more information on the impacts of wildfires, please visit our website.
Colds, flus, and COVID-19 cases are on the rise again as we enter the fall season and the temperature begins to drop. Even though school is important, we can't forget to take care of ourselves and stay healthy. Let's head over to Billy now to give us more insight on the topic.
COVID-19 cases are on the rise in the Cal Poly Pomona community, and as temperature drops during the fall season lead to a rise in cold and flu cases, students are encouraged to follow health and safety protocols to keep each other from getting sick.
COVID-19 may not be a hot topic on the internet anymore, but it's definitely not a thing of the past. We come onto campus every single day with thousands of other students, and if we don't do our part in keeping ourselves safe and clean, then any one of us can easily be the next case.
According to Kevin Malone, Associate Director of Student Health and Wellness Services, there's been an increase in COVID-19 cases, particularly within student housing. But CPP had already anticipated a spike in cases during the first 3 to 4 weeks of school due to people coming back from different places over summer break where they may be exposed to the virus, and are prepared to provide resources and services to ensure campus safety.
Right now, we're seeing a lot of respiratory illnesses, so cold and flu and also COVID is really the peak right now because it is the fall, this is where we usually see it.
Students are also not the only ones on campus getting sick. According to philosophy student Destiny Lawrence, her first day of class was canceled because her professor tested positive for COVID-19.
I live on campus, and I had just gotten to campus when I got the notification that class was moved to Zoom because my professor had COVID. And in that instant, I was kind of thinking of whether I should go back to my dorm or if I should just stay on campus and wait till my next class.
In order to prevent respiratory illnesses from spreading like a wildfire, our campus offers resource cabinets for everyone to access, and you can find them in almost any building you walk into.
On campus, there's a lot of PPE cabinets. You'll see a lot of white cabinets in different buildings. That is available to the students and also the community. They'll just have to go to that particular location, either the dean's office or someone in that location will have a code to get access to it.
Staying up to date with your vaccine shots is one of the best ways to protect yourself, along with constant hand washing and mask wearing. If you are experiencing cold-like or COVID-19 symptoms, such as fevers or chills, coughing, shortness of breath, new loss of taste or smell, you should probably stay home and get tested as soon as possible.
The booster that just came out targets the variant that's circulating now. So even if you were vaccinated before, you will have some level of protection, but the booster will definitely help with that. And, you know, I think at least the last thing I heard, I think they were planning on doing that once a year. So it's kind of, you know, I think about it like the flu shot, right? Where once a year, you know, I go get my flu shot. And you can get them together, right? You can get both of them together, which I recommend that people do.
Even though the Safer Return Task Force has been disbanded, their website still offers self-reporting forms, vaccine information, as well as locations on campus where you can pick up free antigen-based test kits.
No, so I think one thing that everybody needs to keep in mind is this isn't going anywhere. We are going to be dealing with this virus for a long time. You know, I definitely don't think that it's going to be at the level that it was when we were first introduced to it, because now we have a lot of tools, including vaccines, antivirals, to help us with this. But it's not going anywhere.
We are all here to learn in a healthy and safe environment, so don't feel like you're in this alone. There are plenty of resources on and off campus, so let's make the most use out of them. I hope everybody take care of themselves this semester, but for now, this has been reporter Billy Huang from the Poly Post.
Even though the temperature is dropping during the fall season, our fall sports teams are just warming up for their competitions this semester.
As our sports teams continue to dominate in competitions, I'm excited to see their hard work finally pay off.
Me too. And for the first time in Polypost Sports, we'll get to have two sports anchors to give us the insights.
Let's kick it over to Isaac and Nick for today's segment of
Polypost Sports.
What's up, Broncos? My name is Isaac Cox.
And I'm Nick Lira.
Even though summer is the best time to play sports in my opinion, our fall sports teams are also nothing short of amazing.
That's right, and nothing can stop them from getting those wins, as you'll see in today's segment of Polypost Sports. Starting off today's sports segment, we'd like to welcome Delaney Gearing to Cal Poly as our new Assistant Director of Athletic Communications. As a former collegiate athlete, she knows what it's like to live the student-athlete life, navigating through the ups and downs, making her a relatable connection for all current student-athletes at CPP.
Up next, CPP women's soccer had a striking match, upsetting #1 ranked Point Loma, followed by a dominant victory over Westmont. With their 3 wins coming from the last 2 weeks, the Broncos remain undefeated at 7-0 and also moved up in the rankings into the number 7 spot, making this their best start to the season since 2019, being in the top 25 rankings. CPP will battle against San Francisco State on October 4th at 4:30 p.m. and Cal State Monterey Bay on October 6th at 11:30 a.m.
Men's soccer has been red hot since the home opener against APU, winning 2-0, and goalie Luke Garcia-Duenas continues to be a brick wall, shutting out their next 2 opponents, MSU Denver and Colorado School of Mines, making coach Matt O'Sullivan break a record by becoming the winningest coach in program history. The dominance continued against Concordia Irvine, where the Broncos bucked the Golden Eagles 6-1. After ending even with Cal State San Bernardino, the Broncos look to keep their fire alive as they host San Francisco State Friday, October 4th at 7 p.m., followed by Cal State University Monterey Bay Sunday at 2 p.m.
Spiking the ball over to Broncos volleyball, they traveled up to Washington in a 3-game tournament and took 2 out of 3 on September 14th, sweeping Summer Fraser and Western Washington 3-0. They put their emotions out there in games 2 and 3 from the first defeat, and the evidence shows that they aren't to be taken lightly. Following that, they put on a show and dominated all 4 cylinders in the home games against number 19 Cal State San Bernardino and San Francisco State on September 22nd. Senior Samantha Campion reached the 700 career kills milestone, was only 18 digs away from her 800 career digs mark. The team improved to 10-1 on the season with aggression and high anticipation to win it all. And CPP will travel down to Arcata on October 3rd and face Cal Poly Humboldt at 5 p.m. and Simona State on the road October 5th at 1 p.m.
Wrapping up today's fall sports segment with our cross-country teams. Both men and women's cross-country simply outperformed the competition at the Cal State San Bernardino Coyote Run, taking first in both races with sophomore Jade Kingston finishing her 5K in 18 minutes and 24 seconds, while senior Evan Franco finished his 8K in 25 minutes and 21 seconds. In the second race of the season, 6 Broncos from the men set personal bests, while the women's team had 9 runners also set personal bests. The next race is set for Texas at the DBU Old Glory Gallop, Saturday, October 5th at 6:15 a.m.
That's all for now, Broncos, but don't worry, there's still a ton left in store this fall season, so keep up with Polypost Sports Scout, the exclusive coverage.
And make sure to check out everything Broncos sports at broncoathletics.com to enjoy stream matches on the Flow Sports Network.
Hope you guys enjoyed today's segment as much as we did, but for now, this has been Isaac Cox.
And I'm Nick Lira. We'll see you again next time here on Polypost Sports.
Thank you for this week's sports recap, Isaac and Nick. If I learned anything today, it's to never mess with our Bronco athletes in competitions.
We look forward to seeing more wins from our sports teams this semester. But for now, that's all for today's episode, Broncos. Tune in again next time with us here at Polypost Now.
And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can be notified when the latest episode comes out. And check out our website at thepolypost.com for more leading news content. But for now, this has been Damariz Arevalo.
And I'm Gavin Claiborne. Enjoy the fall season and stay safe, Broncos.